short, dumb, different. Do you feel like you're one of these? You should, because everyone is. Everyone is different in his or her own way. So why is it that this individuality each and every one of us has is questioned and sometimes even terrorized? I myself have had personal experience with this and also seen it in others as well. So I decided to do a little more research to understand a solution to this problem. Bullying. Bullying has most likely affected every single one of you in this room, whether you were the victim, the witness, or even the bully. You were affected by bullying. So that's why we're here today. I want to ask you today to stand up and support elimination of bullying by taking action whenever possible. First, I'm going to tell you about the causes of bullying and the victims and the bullies themselves. Then talk about the effects and impact bullying has on its victims. And lastly, discuss how standing up and taking action can truly change the world. Because then, you and the ones you love, when they're affected by bullying, you know that you can stand up, take action, and possibly even save a life. So let's just jump right into the causes of bullying. Bullies don't just come out of thin air. No, actually, bullying happens for many different reasons. Susan Swearer's article, What Can Be Done About School Bullying, lets us know that bullying is also linked with poor academic performance. When a child isn't doing well in their classes, when they're not coming to classes, when they're not socializing, they could become a bully themselves or may already be a bully. Now, we're talking a lot about children and students, but bullying also affects adults like you and I. Duncan Lewis's article, Workplace Bullying, tells us that there are many different forms of bullying, such as sexual harassment, racial harassment, or even an unfair promotional opportunity in your workplace. You go to work and you're treated differently than your other employees. That is a form of bullying. You are a victim of bullying. Now keep both of these points in mind, because Sandra Graham's article tells us that there isn't a real explanation to why people bully. But it usually has to do with the bullies themselves and their low self-esteem and self-worth. These bullies usually grew up being harassed as a child or bullied themselves. The victim becomes the bully. So as you can assume, bullying has many negative effects on these victims. Jolene Carney, a professor at Youngstown State University, shows us a correlation between bullying and suicidal behavior. She shows us results that show victims of bullying feeling hopelessness, low self-esteem, hostility towards others, and even suicidal ideation because of being bullied. Now, these victims don't keep the results of bullying inside of them. Instead, they carry it along every single day on their backs. This is proven to us by the National Association of Education. They tell us that 20% of all school absenteeism is due to bullying. These students are so afraid to go to school because they'll get bullied. They're fearing for their lives. Their grades drop because they're not at school, and their lives suffer because of this bullying. And not only does bullying affect that one person, that one victim, no, it affects every single person they come in contact with. Every single person they will come in contact with in the future, and every single person they would have come in contact with. The National Education Association also shows a recent poll of 1 out of 20 students have seen another student at school with a gun. These victims bring weapons to school because they don't know how to handle the situation, and they fear for their lives and feel that weapons are their answer. putting so many innocent people in danger because of bullying. Bullying is a serious subject, and it will take every single person in this room to truly put an end to bullying. Graham's article also says that in order to put this end, we need to take action. We need to take action and stand up for what is right. She explains that in order to do this, we need to recognize unique qualities in that bully. Let them know that we understand where they're coming from and we want to help you. By doing this, we make a lasting impression on that bully. And then maybe they'll stop bullying for the rest of their lives and even make a lasting impression on someone else. However, a lot of us fall into what's called the bystander effect. And Graham's article tells us that this bystander effect is when we stand and watch bullying happen. We watch the victim get victimized. And we don't do anything because we're afraid of what might happen to us if we were to interfere. Or we don't know what to do in the situation. But they explain to us that in order to overcome this bystander effect and not become a bystander, all we have to do is speak up for what is right and against bullying. Some people, however, believe that this bystander effect is a good thing and that bullying is just a lesson to learn for every single child. But if that's true and bullying is a lesson, it's a lesson that ends in murder, a lesson that ends in suicide, and a lesson that ends in lives being destroyed forever. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not a lesson we want to teach our children, is it? Instead, we should teach a lesson against bullying, to stand up against bullying. Now, this doesn't mean that we have to fight off enemies like in the Hunger Games. No, we can leave that to Katniss. She's the pro. But it means that all we can do is a meaningful action. We can do one thing: talk to a witness, talk to a victim, and understand that bully. And by doing this, we are doing that meaningful action and will make a lasting impression. So to conclude, we must take action to prevent bullying no matter what. We've talked about the causes of bullying in both the victims and the witnesses. We've talked about the effects on the victims. And we've also talked about how we need to make a lasting impression so that the next time you see someone being bullied, you'll know that you can make a difference when you speak up. Because one action, one word, can truly change the world for someone. Don't stand by afar, knowing that you could help. Because you can help, and you will make a difference.